Welcome to class. Today, we will be examining the triangular Atlantic slave trade. For over 400 years, the tides of the Atlantic carried more than ships. They carried pain. They carried chains. They carried millions of lives, stolen from the coasts of Africa, scattered across continents. This is the story of the triangular slave trade, not from the conqueror's pen, but from the African voice long silenced. This is our story. Before the slave ships arrived, Africa was not a continent of chaos. We were kings and queens, farmers and scholars, traders and poets. Empires like Mali, Songhai, Oyo, Benin, and Congo flourished with complex systems of governance, trade, and art. But as European powers expanded westward, they saw in Africa not a partner, but a resource, not just of gold or ivory, but of human beings. The triangular slave trade was not a single journey, but a brutal circuit. It began in Europe, where ships were loaded with weapons, textiles, and manufactured goods. These ships sailed to West Africa. In exchange for guns and goods, African captives, often prisoners of war, debtors, or victims of raids, were sold by African middlemen, local leaders, and sometimes even rival tribes. Yes, our hands were not always clean. But let us be clear, while some Africans participated, the scale, brutality, and industrialization of slavery were driven by European demand. The systems they introduced tore apart generations. From African shores, enslaved men, women, and children were packed like cargo into ships. Shackled, starved, and suffocating in darkness, they crossed the Atlantic. This was the Middle Passage, a floating graveyard. An estimated 2 million Africans died during the journey. Some resisted. Some jumped into the ocean, choosing death over bondage. But those who survived were sold like animals in the Americas. In the Americas and the Caribbean, African bodies built nations. Sugar, cotton, tobacco, all grew on the backs of enslaved Africans. We were whipped, renamed, and erased. Yet even in bondage, Africa survived. In language, rhythm, religion, and resistance. From Haitian revolts to the spirituals sung in southern fields, Africa fought back. The slave trade did not just steal people. It stole time, progress, peace. Africa's development was halted, our societies destabilized, and our people scattered. Today, we still live with the shadows, in poverty, in racism, in broken identities. But in reclaiming our voice, we begin to heal. The triangular slave trade was not just a tragedy, it was a crime against humanity. But as Africans, as descendants, as a global family, we must remember, not to be trapped by pain, but to honor those who came before us. Their names were never written, but their legacy is in us. We speak for them now. We remember. We rise. This documentary is dedicated to the millions of African souls lost to the Atlantic and to those who carry their memory. May we never forget. Please like and subscribe for more content.